Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and this is the Bandito saying, we go to Kansas where, yep, you guessed it, Kyle Larson is on pole! Yeah, it's unreal to think of. During the broadcast itself, the broadcaster's also been a goof up. Yeah, I had to point that out. It's probably the most fun thing about this race, because believe me, you're gonna see why this race blows. But anyways, this year's Kansas race begins with Kyle Larson jumping to the lead. Yeah, this is the one race where I don't want to see him win, and you're gonna find out why. Don't worry, someone will get past him. And the person that is running behind him is his biggest rival, aka Christopher Bell. He just went past Chris Buescher for second. Corey Heim is also running for 24-11, and he's all the way in the back. 6 laps in, and Kyle Larson starts gaining a second lead gap, and the caution comes out as AJ Allmendinger's car starts smoking like a Mitsubishi Magna. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Mitsubishi Magna is a large front-wheel drive sedan that was made in Australia, and it looks something like this. Think of the Toyota Camry or Toyota Avalon, but less reliable. That's what the Mitsubishi Magna is. It is also known to blow smoke, as Mitsubishi isn't known for reliability. Something that is rare for any Japanese manufacturer, but still, they call the caution for that? It's like the Martin Truex Jr. caution situation all over again. The caution ends with Christopher Bell making a jump this time around. Not surprising that he would be the one to battle for the lead with Kyle Larson. Larson's like, not today, Bell, and makes a pass for the lead. Chris Buescher also joined the chat. Kyle Larson continues to lead, even with a caution coming out. Man, there's just no stopping him. Denny is running in 31st and is not happy with his car. Josh Berry also manages to make a big move for 10th. Holy crap, Priest is now jumping up and running his former teammate down. And he's now in 10th and got past Josh Berry. Wait, what? And if Larson leading wasn't bad enough, Giggle suddenly went behind Priest. Oh, come on, don't ruin Priest's chances of winning. Kyle Larson's lead gap starts to shrink, and it looks like that Bell could get past him. Ross Chastain makes a pit stop, and a few other drivers also come down to get fresh tires and gas. Willie B then decides to pin even when Larson stays out. Bo Wallace also gets a penalty thrown at him for equipment interference. Oh, come on! Larson and Bell both decide to stop down for fresh tires and gas, and right behind them is Bubba Wallace. Byron manages to get past Bell, and more drivers get pit road penalties thrown at them. Slow down, guys! Bo Wallace manages to fend off Kyle Larson and wants to get revenge on him for what happened a few years ago. Oh, come on, you can't keep cutting to commercials when crucial moments happen, Fox! Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems of Fox broadcasting. Commercials, commercials, commercials. After Bubba Wallace pits in, Larson gets the lead back. Brad Keselowski managed to jump up to 15th. Wait, what? Kyle Larson continues to lead. Hopefully a stage caution will shake things up. Willie B attempts to cut Kyle Larson's lead gap until BAM! His tire goes out, yet no caution flag is thrown. Reddick also gets loose and falls behind. Holy crap, Denny went from going in the back to running in the top 10! Now that is what you call a huge jump. Just like that, Kyle Larson wins the first stage. He also starts putting several drivers a lap down. The first race off pit road begins, and as expected, Kyle Larson manages to win it yet again. During the stage caution, we also get an interview with Richard Childress himself. Carson Hocevar also has to start in the back due to equipment interference, and that also causes him to get penalized. But anyways, the second stage begins with Chase Elliott managing to run down Kyle Larson and getting past him. Yeah, Chase has had enough of being behind Larson. Holy crap, it's just got intense, and Larson gets back into the lead. But we still have an intense battle for second, and everyone wants to claw their way back to the top. Despite having clutch issues, Hamlin manages to jump up to 7th, and he falls back to 8th after contact was made. Again, with Larson gaining a huge lead gap. Well, at least Logano isn't in the front this time around, and guess who I want to win the Coke 600? Yep, Kyle Larson. Keep in mind, I don't usually like it when Kyle Larson wins. Yeah, I don't usually like it when he wins in general. But it's a different case here as Kyle Larson is also doing the double. I'm just hoping that rain doesn't get in the way this time around. Chase Elliott manages to get past Christopher Bell for second. Willie B and Alex Bowman both decide to pit in. Kyle Larson's lead gap starts falling behind yet again. Austin Cindric also had to come down to pit road due to tire issues. And then Kyle Larson gains it back again once Chase decides to come down pit road. Larson is next to come down to pit road and gives up the lead to Ryan Preece. Hocevar is now leading after Priest decides to pit in. Carson decides to pit in and Larson gets his lead back. One thing I'm hoping for is a caution to come out. Larson's lead gap starts shrinking down a bit, a sign that Elliott wants to have a chance to win as well, although he does try to get it back still. Chase Elliott is looking good. Because Larson is running down his tires quicker than the Dallara SF19 in Gran Turismo 7, he now has a 1.84 second lead gap. Even with worn tires, Kyle Larson tries his best to hang on to his lead gap. Seriously, there's just no stopping him. And just like that, Larson's lead gap is now down to barely a second. Here we go. Chase Elliott is battling Larson for the lead. Although Larson just barely manages to win the second stage while Ross Chastain holds off both of them. It's amazing what Ross can do, but anyways, it all comes down to the race off pit road. This time, Elliott wins the race off pit road. Wait, what? Yeah, that's what I said, because Chase Elliott doesn't usually have the best pit crew of Hendrick Motorsports, and not the best crew chief. I mean, Larson has Cliff Daniels, Byron has Rudy Fugle, and Alex Bowman has his crew chief, whoever he is, but he's still good crew chief. Chase Elliott has Alan Gustafson, and he needs to be replaced by Adam Wall. No offense to Alan Gustafson, by the way, since he has a long-time crew chief, but yeah, they really need to bring in Adam Wall in the Cup Series. And if we see Adam Wall become Chase Elliott's new crew chief, we could see Chase Elliott run down Kyle Larson, have Chase Elliott have a actually great pit crew, and make adjustments that would make him competitive. Yeah, like, please, Hendrick Motorsports, put Adam Wall in the Cup Series and have him become Chase Elliott's new crew chief. That's what I want to see. Because I want to see Chase Elliott have a chance to win. I don't want to see Kyle Larson winning all the time. I want to see Chase Elliott get some wins. He needs a chance to win. I mean, come on. He should have Adam Wall as crew chief. But anyways, Larson usually has the better pit crew, but Elliott's pit crew just manages to beat him off the pit road. Here we go. The third and final stage begins with a clash of the Hendrick cars. And Elliott manages to get past Larson for the lead. Impressive, since Larson is usually the better driver. And Brad is in third now. Wait, what? I thought he was washed up. And he even manages to get past Larson, but Bell joins the chat and is running both of them down. Despite this, Brad completes the pass despite the fact that he's in a terrible situation right now, especially with his team. Larson's down third, though Elliott continues to lead. Denny manages to make a big move for fifth, which is impressive for someone who had clutch issues. And he's down fourth. And Brad Keselowski blows the tire and causes another caution. Because of the revised DVP rules, Brad hasn't DNF'd yet, and he'll be back in the race after repairs are made. That is if he can make the minimum speed requirement, though. Yeah, they really need to adjust the DVP rules for that minimum speed. Several drivers come down to pit road to get their tires changed. Christopher Bell wins the race off pit road this time around, and Chase Elliott has right rear issue, but they pale in comparison to Denny Hamlin, whose car stalls out during the pit stops. Dang, so close. Just like that, Denny Hamlin's now in the garage. The caution ends with a battle for the lead, and another caution comes out right when Giggles steals the lead. Despite this, Kyle Larson is the control car due to the timing line rules. The race restarts with Kyle Larson making a jump to the lead. And just like that, Kyle Busch spins out and Kyle Busch spins out and another caution comes out. Jeez! Can we please get the race started already? SVG gets the free pass and hopefully we'll get a full lap after the caution ends. The caution ends with Giggles making a jump to the lead this time around. What? Another caution? Will this race ever go underway? Justin and Bubba both get involved in it. Even poor Eric Jones isn't safe. Luckily, McDowell dodges the wreck. The caution eventually ends with Kyle Larson making a big jump to the lead. Seriously? This is the one race where I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win in Kansas. I want him to win in the Coke 600. Sorry, man. I know he's a great driver, but the Coke 600 should be the only race where Kyle Larson wins. But despite this, Bell still chases Larson down. The two Penske drivers almost trade wraps. Carson Hocevar is now in 7th after he passes Giggles Logano. Bowman and Bell both have a battle for second. Meanwhile, Josh Berry, Zane Smith, and Chase Elliott are battling for 12th. John Hunter Nemechek and Tyler Reddick are now in the battle for 10th. So far, not much is going on. Ryan Blaney manages to get past Bowman for third. Carson Hocevar's car is falling apart as one of his tires blew up. Yet, no caution is thrown. On the final lap, all hopes of other drivers winning all come to a screeching halt as Kyle Larson wins yet another mediocre race. Yippee! Yep, we got another exciting race ruined by a Kyle Larson win. The only race I want to see him win is the Coca-Cola 600. This race, just like last year's Kansas race, gets a 7 out of 10. It gets a point for the brief excitement that happened, but it's still an uneventful race that I wasn't too thrilled about. At least when Alex Palou wins, he's making history. But when Kyle Larson wins, it can make an exciting race seem boring. But that's just me, though. What do you guys think of this race? Also, the Indy 500 is coming up in a couple of weeks, and you want to know what's also coming up? Yeah, the All-Star Race, the grand spectacle of NASCAR, the race where the winner takes $1 million. That's next weekend's race. And it's a non-points paying race. I'll link you to another Kyle Larson win if you want to see it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so. Catch you guys next time, and peace out.